Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Sechere. If this is the first time you've come across my channel, why not like, subscribe and share. So I'm a registered nurse in the UK, and on this channel I give tips and advice as to how to relocate to the UK as a nurse from overseas, because I did the same a couple of years ago, and I give tips and advice as to how to manage and how you can progress professionally and anything about nursing, health promotion, a bit of lifestyle. So remember to like, subscribe and share. So today I'm going to be talking about the 10 worst parts of nursing. So if you want to know more about that, why not watch the video to the end? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as I said in the introduction, I'm going to be talking about the 10 worst parts of nursing. So before I go ahead, I would like to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel, and those of you who have only just come across my channel, you're very welcome. Remember to like, subscribe and share. Do not just watch and go away. So let's go straight into the video. Now, nursing is a very rewarding profession. I've been a nurse for about 22 years and I love it. And for you as an individual, you get the opportunity to support people, you get the opportunity to be part of people's lives, you get the opportunity to care for people. And if you decide to train as a nurse, you will not regret it, because when you complete your nursing, in most places you get a job on completion. So that's fantastic. But at the same time, we have the worst part of everything in life, and nursing, we have our own worst part of nursing. So if you like to know more, let's start. So the first point is about our hours of work. So nursing, I would say, is a 24/7 job. It doesn't mean you go to work for 24/7, but some people work 12 hours, others will take over from their 12 hours, and people do 8 hours, people do 9 to 5, people do 8 to 4. You can get those opportunities, but if you are working bedside nursing, it's most often long hours. We work weekends, we work nights, any other shift we do. I know there are other people who do the same, but nursing, predominantly if you go into nursing, you know you don't really have a good life. I would say work and life balance is not really there. So what is the impact? It means that you miss out of some family occasions, kids programs. You want to be there, sometimes you can't. Yes, you can take time off work to do that, but you cannot plan certain things. So that is one aspect of nursing, which I would say is the worst part of nursing, because of the shifts and the working patterns, and missing out of a lot of family occasions. I've got my list. The next one is seeing things that ordinary people who are not nurses have never seen before. You see different things, very good and not so good, but it is part of the job. So we are prepared for these in our day-to-day life. So those are some of the worst part that I can say. So seeing extremely difficult situations that ordinary people who aren't nurses would not have seen. My third point is giving bad news. Yes, in certain settings, it is doctors who usually give bad news, but nurses in some settings as well give bad news. For example, myself in my previous job, one of the things I always say to people I do not like about that job was giving bad news. So I worked in a specialty where I looked after people with genetic conditions. So sometimes you see pregnant women who are suddenly found to have this genetic condition. The fathers of their babies have also been found to be carriers of the same genetic conditions, which means that there is 25% chance that the child to be born would have the major disorder or the condition, and you're supporting them, you're counseling them, and they've gone for tests for example, prenatal diagnosis, and they found out that their fetus is affected, you're there to support them, but you're the one like giving that bad news, and that I did find very difficult. And in the end, you're the same person supporting them through if they have to go through termination and all that. And you can imagine the difficulties these women go through. So for me, that is one of the most, I would say, the worst part of my jobs. And there are other nurses who go through or look after patients and having to give bad news in different situations. The next on my list is not being able to save everybody. As nurses, our aim is to look after people, support them, put a smile on their faces, and also make sure, they get the satisfaction from the care we give them. But sometimes we are unable to save everybody. We wish we are superheroes in order to save people, but life is not like that. You do your best, but in the end, nature takes its course and you cannot save everybody. And that is one of the worst parts of nursing. Another aspect, which is the fifth point, is seeing people die. Yes, we're there as nurses to support people, look after people to the end, their very end. But at the same time, seeing people go off or die, end of life, can be difficult, and I would say it's one of the worst parts of nursing as well. The sixth point I have is we have high expectations, not only from ourselves, but from management, from colleagues, from patients, and from their families. And sometimes that can be challenging. So I find that as one of the worst part of nursing, too much expectation on nurses. The seventh point is having unsupportive and negative colleagues. So if you're having to work in an environment where you have unsupportive colleagues and negative colleagues around you, all they do is finding faults and bickering. I have been lucky. I had worked with, very good colleagues in the past until now. So I haven't really, but I know people who have worked or are working in places where it is common in nursing sometimes. So those are some of the worst part of nursing. You want to go to work and work in a calm and a supportive environment. There are lots of environments like that, but there are a few that you can find very unsupportive and very negative, and that is, in addition to all the stresses you have, you don't need that in your life, and that can be one of the worst parts of nursing. My eighth point is nursing is very physical and emotionally draining. Sometimes you go to work, you need to go to the toilet, but you've got things to do and you put that on hold in order to finish what you're doing. It can be emotionally draining. It can be very stressful. It can be very tiring, especially 12-hour shifts when you're standing on your feet. So it's part of the job, but it can be one of the worst part of nursing. Another one is a shortage of staff. So most hospitals and most places, most countries, there is a lot of shortage of staff and they're recruiting and all that. So sometimes that can impact. If you have good number of staff, it helps, but that can impact and that can become one of the worst part of nursing. And finally, as you know, nurses are underappreciated and undervalued, and that, we work so hard, we do the best we can, but we get slagged off every time. So that can actually affect you, and that can be one of the worst part of nursing. There are a lot of people out there who appreciate what nurses do a lot, but at the same time, if you look at the salary, the wages we get, it doesn't seem good enough. You will find it very difficult to know that, okay, certain places nurses are actually paid quite high, and other places not as much for the hard work they do. Anyway, so these are my 10 worst part of nursing. If you have any ideas or if you have any more, can you put that in the comment section and let's make it a discussion. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of yourself, and I'll bring you some more exciting videos in the next few days, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.